Salutations, my friends. Hello, my name is Maria. This is Love Party Paint. And today, I have an awesome video for you. But first, before you find out what the video is, you must subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell and like the video and share it with all your friends. Subscribe! Okay, now that that part is over, I can tell you what the video is going to be. Today I am going to teach you how to make your art 100% better by cheating. Just kidding, we're not going to be cheating. I'm going to teach you how to use graphite paper. And this is a wonderful thing to do if you want to make your art 100% better. And don't forget to stick by until we start painting so you can see my awesome masterpiece I'm going to be making today. It is quite hilarious. And also, I'm going to be using watercolor instead of acrylic just for a little bit of change of pace. So, meet me back at the canvas, meet me back at the canvas, meet me back at the canvas, and meet me back at the canvas, and meet me back at the canvas. And I will teach you, and you, and you, how to use graphite paper. And our art's gonna be awesome. Hello. Thanks for meeting me back at the canvas. Okay, thanks for meeting me back at the canvas. I'm going to go through the materials. So what you're going to need is graphite paper. I got mine in 9x13, so it will fit snug as a bug in a rug on my paper. And you're either going to need a canvas or paper to be able to do this. So how this works is you're going to print out an image. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted for this. This is John Travolta trying to give the VMA to this lovely woman here who is not Taylor Swift. She is a Taylor Swift impersonator. So I thought, wouldn't this be a really fun painting to make? Because it's hilarious. Because he has clearly lost his mind. So this is what we're going to use for our printed image. You can obviously use any printed image that you want. You can do portraits or landscapes or anything that your heart desires using this method. Also, some transfer paper. You don't necessarily need the transfer paper, but to make my life easier, I like to use transfer paper. So if I make any mistakes, I can just throw the transfer paper away instead of trying to erase it off of the paper or the canvas, because this is a lot more inexpensive than if you were like using canvas or something of that nature. So I will show you step by step now how to cheat your way to making your art 100% better. So we're gonna start with our image here. Boop, and we'll just kind of clip it. Also, which would be super helpful if you have tape so your image doesn't move around while you're trying to trace it. And if you have a light box or even just on an art lamp or even just a regular lamp, a good lighting source, you're gonna take your tracing paper and you're gonna place it over your image like so. So then what else you are going to need? Either a pen. I usually like to use like a permanent marker. Mine unfortunately ran out, so I'm gonna have to make do with a black watercolor pencil, so hopefully you guys will be able to see that. And a graphite pencil, or it doesn't matter, or you can even use a stylus, but for this part you're gonna obviously want to use a pencil, so in case you make any mistakes you can erase them. So we are gonna trace away, and we'll fast forward this part so you don't actually have to watch me doing this process because it's quite frankly not that interesting. We're done tracing out our image onto our tracing paper. We are going to take our graphite paper right here. This is graphite paper, and we are not going to put this side down. You want the side with the color down against the canvas. make sure you're careful if you're wearing a white dress and you get the stuff on your fingers. What we're going to do this is we're going to place this like so, and then we're going to take the tracing paper and just put it right on top. Oh my gosh, you know what I was just thinking? John Travolta is a Scientologist. What if the Scientologists come after me? That would be super creeps. They probably won't because I'm just painting a picture. But if they do, I'm watching. I'm watching. Oh my gosh. Do you think John Travolta is a Scientology robot? Maybe he's like a Cyclops at this point. And the reason he can't remember people's names or he doesn't know who Taylor Swift is because he's actually a robot and he's just like malfunctioning. You know what I mean? Like he's like and he doesn't know where he is ever because he's not human. He's a Cyclops robot. I mean, that could be true. Possibly. And he's just like all out of whack. You know what they should do? They should hook him up to that little brain machine they have in Scientology and like get him reprogrammed. Because you don't see Tom Cruise out there forgetting people's names and handing VMAs to the wrong people. That doesn't ever happen. So whatever they're doing to Tom Cruise, they should do to John Travolta. That's a plan. Hey, Scientologist guys, get on that. Your robot is malfunctioning. Once you have all of this, you're going to take either a pencil or a pen or a stylus, whatever you want, and you're going to retrace what you've drawn out. So the reason I don't just, most people would just put this on top of this and then trace it out. Well, you can't see what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? So like if your paper accidentally moves or something like gets misaligned, you're gonna have lines all over the place and it's gonna look absolutely wonky. So just to be safe, especially if you're using a canvas, use the tracing paper first. You can also use just regular parchment paper or wax paper. I think it would work the same way, but it's not as translucent. The more translucent, the easier it is. And I would refrain from getting like way over detailed. You can do the details once you start painting or once you start sketching or whatever you're using or whatever you're doing. I would just not get too carried away with the details because it's going to be harder to sketch out if there's too many lines. You're going to get lost. So the less detailed, I think, the better. I'm just going to be doing a fun little pop art watercolor, so mine doesn't have to be super detailed anyway. It's just for fun. One of the most important things when you're doing this is to have a super sharp pencil or super sharp pen or something that has like a really strong point so you can really dig it in there. I'm just kidding. But really, this is super important to have something super pointy and sharp. So let's trace this out, and when I'm done painting and tracing, well, I'll show you before I paint it so you can see what it looks like. So never mind that part. We'll be right back after I'm done tracing this, because I'm sure you don't want to watch me trace. That would probably be really boring for you. But we'll be right back. Okay, so I am done tracing. I'll show you now. I'm done tracing the image from the carbon paper onto the canvas, and this is the end result. You'll get whatever you're doing, a portrait, or if you're doing landscape or whatever you're doing, this is what it will look like. So then what you're going to do is you're just going to obviously paint over this, obviously with the colors, or you can do whatever colors you want. Maybe you want it more abstract. And that is how you are going to have a guideline to make your painting more accurate and the right dimensions. So I'm going to get painting away, and when we come back, I'll show you the final painting, and that's that. I'll be back. BRB. BRB. We have our final painting here. It was just for fun, so I didn't get too caught up in the details. And I don't want to show it too long because it says something a little bit inappropriate. If you're interested in seeing it, just go to my Instagram page at Love Party Paint, and you can see it there. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you learned how to use graphite paper, and come hang out with me next Wednesday when we have a brand new video. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when my videos are coming. And I hope you have an awesome week. Hope it's filled with sparkles and rainbows and sunshine and glitter and happiness. Goodbye, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, toodaloo, goodbye. Going to be I gotta stop doing that, it's weird.